But guess what? We got a lot to do. Gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
To confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science. What about that? What about that? What about that? What about that?
I certainly look forward to the science that's produced on this. I just caution you and our friends at CDC that if we kill technology and innovation, which is in essence what some are attempting to do with electronic cigarettes right at the beginning, just stop it, no more, shouldn't be sold, then innovation is not going to play a role in reducing the amount of Americans that smoke. It's just not. And I think it's safe to say that when I look at diabetes today, I look at other things that we would consider a public health epidemic. Innovation is going to give us the ability to do it. I don't think it's going to be by going out and limiting whether they can go to McDonald's and buy a double cheeseburger. And the CDC is not proposing that. It's going to be innovation. It's going to be driving technology. It's going to be coming out with products that allow us to turn around the problem they've got. I think that's what we're talking about here, and I look forward to the work you're doing. Thank you. Thanks.
Well, hello. What's going on, people? I see there's some people here. Hello, Tom and Yolanda and Michael and Troop and Paul's over in Facebook for some reason. And Dave Lloyd is here. There's people, and there will be more, I'm sure. How in the hell is your Friday? Thank God I'm not in Florida, because with my luck, it would be my home that's flooded with alligators. Apparently, they're showing video of the internet of alligators swimming through people's houses. So, yeah, let's stay away from those gators, my Floridians. If you're, in here, I know that we do have a few Floridians that are here sometimes. Nick Orlando is a Floridian. He's a Florida man. I want you guys, not right this minute, but in your leisure, just go to Google and type in Florida space man, and then just read all of the entertaining links, and there will be videos of Florida man. Sounds like a superhero, Florida man. But anyway, we're gonna shoot the breeze tonight and have some fun. I got my goat hat on because in my mind, I am the goat. And it could just be that I'm grumpy like a goat too. I don't know. And it could be that I'm horny. You never know what that goat means. But anyway, let's get Kevin in here. Kevin has been dangle clacking and freezing and blaming it on me when I am perfectly awesome and he's the one that is freezing. But anyway, there's Kevin.
Hey, listen. I got I don't have any audio. I just have a video. I have an audio of King leaving the meeting yesterday or day before. There he went.
Meep.
You know, that's all.
No, should just been. Meep.
Mm-hmm. Michael. David.
I need to do that. Let's see. Road runner sound.
Oh, road runner.
Yeah.
That's the best I got.
No. I'm gonna steal me a wave file of. Let me see if I can. They're actually Florida man.
I'm not looking at it.
Yeah. We need a meep.
Make me.
Well, I don't have to. I mean, you don't have to, but it is. Is let's see. I found multiple meeps. Let's see.
I have a question for you, Dr. King.
What's the question?
Dr. King. Mimi.
I found it. Download. Now.
Oh, you're downloading it, ain't you?
Now I can go over here to the studio and add that as a sound. I have to go
That's
to
my
the
contribution for the rest of the year. That's it. Oh, I'm not going to be here.
Well, I'm gonna actually find video of him walking away,
Yes.
and then add the meet.
Yes.
That's what I
I
should
will
do.
not be here next Friday, by the way, just so you know.
Well, why not? Are you
'Cause I got
are
shit to
you
do.
leaving us? Or are you
I got shit
you
to
think
do.
think you're special or something?
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He knows who he works for. He gonna answer you motherfuckers. He don't even like you. Mhm.
That's not very nice. Well, I know he doesn't like me.
Well, I can't imagine you're going to go to a conference like that and actually take the time to go and then not answer any questions at all. That's very sad.
Oh.
You would think as much transparency as they allegedly have, according to Caliph, that he'd be there still answering questions. Anyway.
Oh, I found it. This is the one I want right
I
here.
found it.
Yeah.
What?
Well, we had the buzzer.
Yeah.
So now I have to add the. While
That's
I'm
his stage, right? Like Paul put on my Twitter. I think it was Paul.
I gotta, this way we can do this too.
And away we go. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding. Okay. All right. Let's get back to this. So, what the hell's going on, Kevin?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
I thought you were talking about something important while I was
No.
ignoring you.
General babblization.
Okay. Yeah. Keep. We don't. The worst thing in the world when it comes to streaming or broadcasting is dead air while the host is doing something. So, it's even if it's just babbling like you were just doing, that's okay.
Babblization. It's copywritten. Yeah.
So it's hard to figure out what the hell's going on, Kevin, because we have video and audio of Mitch Zeller from like 2016 admitting that vaping is safer than smoking, right?
In the Senate hearing, right?
In the Senate Help Committee.
All right. See, I did my homework briefly once, and then I don't remember for sure. So.
All right. So we have that. That exists. It's irrefutable.
Yeah. We have.
I can actually just make this happen right now, Kevin. I can actually make this happen right now. Look, 43 seconds.
Yeah.
If we look at a subset of smokers who are otherwise unable or unwilling to quit, they're going to continue to smoke that pack of cigarettes. Half of them will die prematurely later in life from that decision. If we could get all of those people to completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, that would be good for public health.
So
the trick to his manner of speaking is that you're convinced of that as to what he's saying while he's bullshitting you right to your face.
No. I mean, he does admit in that video that it would be a benefit for public health. So that would mean appropriate for the protection of public health, right? We have that. We have video of him admitting that on video under oath in front of the Senate Help Committee in 2016. So then, this week we had Brian King, the new head.
Gottlieb as well before that.
Well, yeah, we had Gottlieb say there was a whole continuum of risk and off ramps and on ramps, and he's using language, but again, just sort of lip service.
Correct.
Saying that yes, vaping is safer than smoking. Okay, fine. And then this week we had Brian King, the new head of the Center for Tobacco Products.
He's the king.
The current king of the Center for Tobacco Products. At one conference with our people.
Yeah.
Essentially admitting that, yes, there's a continuum of risk and vaping is safer than smoking. But I have a piece here from an FDA spokesperson published on, I have to look for the date, September 26th.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go ahead and I think I pre-rubbed it, but let me double check. Oh, I did not pre-rub it. Let me pre-rub it.
You ran out of that,
and then close this ad. Let me share screen, and I'm going to share it. And it says here, insider Q&A.
Yep.
FDA official on vaping's promise or peril.
Yep.
This is from Matthew Perone.
Yeah.
And there's a rather weird elongated picture of Matthew Perone. Oh, no, that's Brian King.
Yeah.
This undated image provided by the U.S. FDA shows the FDA Center for Tobacco Products Director Brian King. Issues facing FDA Center for Tobacco Products have only multiplied since King's arrival in July of 2022 from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. So he was a CDC hack before he was an FDA hack.
Yes.
All right.
Alphabet groups.
Yeah. So let's see. There has been no honeymoon period for the FDA administration's new tobacco chief, Brian King. So they want to put in. So they got two. They got chief and King. So he's got two. So that gives him two step ups on his chart of like leadership. So not only is he the king, but he's the chief as well. The public health scientist now responsible for regulating the nation's multi-billion-dollar cigarette and vaping industry. The problems facing FDA's CTP have only multiplied since King's arrival in July from the CDC. Why do we say CDC when it's CDC and prevention? We should be saying CDC and P.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the FDA missed a summer deadline for review. The FDA missed a summer deadline to review nearly 1 million applications for e-cigarettes and other new products that use laboratory-made nicotine. Now, I would believe that there is probably more than 1 million applications.
Yeah.
I believe at one point it was 4 point something million, and then it was cut in half because they did the fatal error filter, and then they did another thing and cut it in half again. So I would still say it's over 1 million. But anyway, some of which have become popular with teenagers. Meanwhile, the agency is still a year overdue in reviewing a backlog of hundreds of thousands of older e-cigarettes using traditional nicotine from tobacco. So the FDA tried to ban the leading e-cigarette maker Juul's products earlier this summer, but it has been forced to put that effort on hold following a court challenge from the company. Now, I will put a check mark on this article from the AP because you remember last week we read multiple articles and multiple times they said that the FDA voluntarily pulled back their. So at least this writer is actually telling the truth.
It's a rare thing.
That it was a court challenge from the FDA, and a judge wrote a hold. It wasn't the FDA voluntarily. So at least so far, it's truthful. Congressional lawmakers have blasted the FDA for failing to remove Juul and other e-cigarettes from a history of underage use. Amid those criticisms, FDA Commissioner Robert Califf has ordered an outside review of the Tobacco Center. Meanwhile, King and his office are finalizing a long-awaited plan to ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars, which disproportionately impact black smokers and young people. So what you're saying is that you're going to disproportionately victimize black smokers who choose menthol.
Correct. Very good, sir. Double plus good isn't it? Just what it is.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. Is you're going to take away the thing that black people prefer.
Yeah.
First.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's irony, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
It is what it is.
So the AP spoke to King about his approach to regulating tobacco and nicotine, including the potential for e-cigarettes to serve as a less harmful alternative for adult smokers. Notably, he cited so-called nicotine salts technology pioneered by Juul, that's not true, as a potentially promising tool for smokers, but also warned of its risks for young people. The interview has been edited for length and clarity. Length and clarity, Kevin.
Yeah, well, and time probably, because he had to skip out pretty fast.
They probably did this over email. This probably was not in person. Here's a list of questions. Please answer them and send them back.
Yeah.
So it says here, question. The FDA is working on a number of proposals that would fundamentally change the U.S. tobacco landscape, including banning menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. When will those be ready, and how will they impact public health? Answer. I don't have a crystal ball in terms of how long things will take, but I think that we're well on the way in terms of setting a foundation for substantial reductions in combustible tobacco smoking with the product standards that are in the queue.
Yeah.
Between the menthol cigarette proposed rule and also flavored cigars. So that is the definition of a non-answer, Kevin.
Yes.
So the question establishes that the FDA is already considering banning menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. Mm-hmm. So then the guy asks a question, and then the guy says, well, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball.
No, not me.
But we're planning on doing that thing that you just mentioned, and that's my answer.
Look, I'm the head of this department. I just don't know anything. Yeah. I can't commit. Where's the exit?
Say, look, so not an answer. I'm going to highlight this not an answer thing. All right, right to there. That is definitely not answering the question.
No.
And then this next, all the way through, all the way down to here, is just repeating something that was included in the original, actually, and using more words, repeating that. Yeah. I mean,
well, we're well on the way in terms of.
Yeah.
It's a long, breathless answer.
Okay, so here, we're going to go down here. So it says, at the same time, we have a rapidly diversifying product landscape, particularly among youth. Mm-hmm. I continue to be very concerned about the use of emerging products, including e-cigarettes. And when it comes to youth, there is no redeeming aspects of tobacco product use.
No, because you can say that together.
Okay, so now let's go. All right, so this part, not answer, repeat the question. Down here, attack e-cigarettes. Yeah. I mean, still no answer, but again, just repeat your premise, move on. All right. Here we go. Question. Surveys have shown that many adults think that e-cigarettes are as dangerous as traditional cigarettes. Is that a problem?
Mm-hmm.
Answer. I am fully aware of the misperceptions that are out there and aren't consistent with the known science. We do know that e-cigarettes as a general class have markedly less risk than a combustible cigarette product.
That's it. That's all you need right there.
Okay, so that said, here comes that said, I think it's very critical that we inform any communication campaigns using science and evidence. It has a very carefully thought out to ensure that it has to be very carefully thought out to ensure that we're maximizing impact and avoiding unintended consequences. I have another video, Kevin.
Yeah.
Of a FDA CTP employee admitting that they tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only
when they're asked.
That they tell the truth only when asked directly on a one-on-one basis. That they have not spent any time focusing on education. All they're doing is absence-only marketing. Now, I have to stop for a second, Kevin, because somebody is in the chat room spoiling topics that were, just like last week. I include the links to the articles that we're going to talk about in the posts. And there's no reason to post them early because we're going to fucking talk about that in a minute. You know who you are. I'm looking right at you, you cunt.
Oh my God.
Stop it. It's already in the show notes.
Oh, those Aussies.
Yeah, damn
I
Aussie.
don't know about that. He doesn't come in for months and then look at him.
I used his word. And now he says he's Gonski. He's running away now. Doesn't show his face in here for months and months and months, and shows up, and I can't pick on him for 1 second. He's gonna run away. Okay, what's your view on the potential for vaping to help reduce adult smoking? Answer. Let me scroll this over right down there so I get the whole thing in there. I think there's a lot of really important science and innovation that have occurred in the industry in recent years. The most notable, I think, is nicotine salts in e-cigarettes. Mm-hmm. We know that when you smoke a tobacco product, it is very efficient. It's a very efficient way to deliver nicotine across the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've talked about the blood-brain barrier on this show, Kevin?
Twice.
Yeah, more than once. So it's been very difficult to rival that efficiency in another product. But in the case of nicotine salts, you have the potential to more efficiently deliver nicotine, which could hold some public health promise in terms of giving smokers enough nicotine that they would transition completely. But we also have to consider the opposite ends of the coin, which is that inherent risk of initiation among youth. So I do worry about that. But there's a lot happening, and I think it could be it could be promise or peril.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that the science drives that.
Yeah. Yeah. Whose science? What science? Pseudoscience?
Well, I mean, so that article itself was mostly positive, Kevin.
Generalized and
with some propaganda points put in about nicotine in children.
It's a politician's view. That's what it is.
But I mean, it was that first question was a non-answer. The second question was, well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then the third was, oh yeah, well, vaping's pretty okay, and that nicotine salt stuff, it's all right,
Well,
but
Jerry, did you clean your room? You mean today? Right?
It will indeed make a whole bunch of younger nicotine addicts. That was
no, the fuck it won't. And you know that, and I know that.
Well, I know that, and you know that, and he even knows that. But
It's
You know, he doesn't
potential
get
peril.
paid to agree with us, Kevin.
Exactly.
No, he didn't get paid to agree with us.
10 years ago, I'd have told you you're fucking wrong about, this. They're helping the public, Patrick. That's what they do. Good Lord, Ed's out of the home again, Easter.
There he is.
I'm so glad. Ed.
Does he have a glass of red wine?
Pinot?
Does he have his Pinot?
I bet he does.
His Pinot. I don't want to talk about his Pinot. But speaking of Pinot, look at this little red rocket right here, Kevin.
Ooh, neato. And anybody, if you're in Florida and you're not drowned, I'm glad. By the way,
please don't get eaten by alligators if you're in Florida right now.
Jeez.
I'm concerned for you.
Jeez.
Don't get eaten by alligators.
Nick's putting sharks in the middle of the city somewhere.
Yeah.
Wood going through trees.
So this next piece is published by The Greyhound, which is Loyola Maryland School News Source.
And that Michael.
Okay, so this is like a college paper, maybe. It says FDA's attempts to reduce vaping are ineffective and push young adults to more dangerous methods. And this was posted by Robert Handler, September 27th of 2022.
I'm going to clarify the headline. The FDA has not attempted to reduce vaping at all. So right away, we're off on a bad foot.
Well, no, I mean, they have spent billions or millions of dollars on brainwashing people that say vaping is bad, but they have done nothing to enforce the authority that they have under their, purview.
Freaking thing.
So, except for, write warning letters and run some people out of business. But other than that, Yeah. So I just, I saw this red rocket right here. And I just thought of, you, Kevin.
I'm glad we spent this time together.
Watermelon ice red rocket.
Okay. What is that?
If I had,
is that a liquid bottle or is that a device?
No, it's a pre-filled disposable vape, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So the following represents the opinion of the student reporter and does not represent the views of Loyola University of Maryland, the Greyhound, or Loyola University's Department of Communication. So
we don't want any credit for this.
They're saying this piece is written by a real person who has their own opinions. We may not agree with it, but we're allowing him, because he's a student and he's paying tuition, to publish a piece in the student paper under opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it under as an op-ed.
Yeah.
This is like a letters to the editor sort of area. So it says here, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, most recently made headlines in its battle with underage vaping by denying authorization for Juul to be sold. While this may seem to be a step toward reducing the shockingly high numbers of underage vape users, what the hell is he talking about? Shockingly high numbers. I think he's been brainwashed too, because the numbers don't bear out the shockingly high descriptor, Kevin.
Correct.
It is, in reality, a shallow victory that does not target the root of the problem. Juul came under fire earlier this month when the Connecticut State Attorney William Tong publicized that Juul would be forfeiting $438.5 million to compensate users tricked into nicotine addiction. Tricked, Kevin.
Yes.
And we already know that
here's a Kit Kat. Oh, fooled you.
I'm pretty sure that Connecticut, is it Connecticut or Maine? One of those really far, all the way up there in the far right corner states, already said that they were not going to sign the agreement because it was Maine. Yeah, Maine said that. So Connecticut is saying we'll take our $10 million because that's all they're going to get, somewhere between $10 and $13 million. Juul's cynically calculated advertising campaigns created a new generation of nicotine addicts. Not true. Kevin, did you look at any of the early Juul ads and say,
yes,
those are for kids?
In fact, I looked at
that looks
them,
like a cartoon to me.
I looked at them after the fact where they were displaying Ariana Grande or whatever her name is. I don't know. And
Ariana Grande was not a Juul spokesperson.
No, it's a very similar picture to that. They were comparing it, but one had been long after the ad had come out.
Yes.
And it was wrong, but nobody mentioned that part. See,
yeah.
Sleight of hand. See?
But if you look at the product packaging, it came in a white box.
It said nicotine
with
is
a little
addictive.
Colored square.
Yeah.
That was like really the only colorful part of it was there was a little colored square on, indicating what the flavor was or
I retract
a color.
that last statement.
So
I don't
marketing
think it
anything in color is marketing to kids, Kevin.
Of course it is.
So
of course it is.
If I do a Lipton tea ad with a colored product, is that for kids? Because it's got color on it?
It must be. Has to be.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, they relentlessly marketed vaping products to underage youth, manipulated their chemical composition to be palatable to inexperienced users.
Just like cigarettes.
Employed an inadequate age verification process and misled customers about the nicotine content and the addictiveness of its products, Tong said in a recent press release. That is not true. Juul is hardly the end point of sales for their products. How did Juul inadequately age verify when they're not the ones selling most of their product to the end user?
That's conjecture, Your Honor.
And when the package clearly states right on the package what percentage of nicotine is in the package.
Yeah.
How is that misleading?
My retraction of my statement was that I don't think at first they had nicotine is addictive signs on there. They did put them on, but I think at first
they did. Yeah.
I'm not positive.
And again, I am not defending Juul the corporation.
No.
But I do have to disagree with stupidity when I see it, regardless of if they're targeting a company that I like or a company that I don't like.
Yep.
This is not true. Like, unless you're a moron and you want to be led around by the nose for the entirety of your life, you have to learn to think for yourself. And really, modern society is not designed for people to think for themselves, Kevin.
No, they're not.
No. We do not want independent thinkers.
This runs the world right now. That's what that is.
Underage vaping abuse among youth has been a concern since vapes made a mainstream introduction in the United States in 2006. I don't like that word, Kevin.
Say that again.
Vapes. Underage vaping abuse among youth has been a concern since vapes made a mainstream introduction in the United States in 2006. So I have to know, Kevin.
Yeah.
I have to know.
Yeah.
2006?
Listen to me. It's
if there were products available in 2006, we would have a predicate product.
It'd be, well, first of all, yes. Second of all, they were like $150, right? What did you pay for yours first? Your first?
I paid about $150 for one stick battery. I did get like probably something like 50 pre-filled cartomizers with it, but yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. And half of them dried out first, right?
Yeah, but I did know how to refill them. So even though they were not supposed to be refillable, I did figure out how to refill them.
Right.
This affinity of youth for vaping has allegedly been the result of companies marketing electronic cigarettes to children. According to DrugWatch.com author Terry Turner, Juul created a teen vaping epidemic by introducing sweet and candy-like flavors as well as depicting adolescents in marketing materials. Over the summer, the FDA, to quell the growing concern of legislators and parents alike, moved against the vaping industry by revoking the authorization of some vape producers to sell in the United States. This revocation by the FDA only applied the vapes that were rechargeable and utilized a disposable pod system. That was actually not this summer. That was like during the Trump presidency.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, that was definitely not over the summer.
Well,
See, this guy, this is a poorly researched research paper. This guy that's writing this.
Well, hence the reason the Greyhound wants no interaction.
So it says here, Juul created a teen vaping epidemic by introducing sweet and candy light flavors.
No, they didn't.
They didn't invent those. Those were on the market years before Juul was even on the market.
The epidemic didn't start until 2018, 2019.
Right. So first, Juul did not introduce sweet and candy light flavors. I was vaping, peach berry menthol by Delaware Vapor in 2010.
There you go.
Juul wasn't on the market in 2010.
No.
So
2015, right?
Yes.
I think.
Around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there. This exposes the main shortcomings of the FDA's legislation.
Yeah,
as the I don't even think the FDA had. I mean, the shortcomings of the FDA's legislate. FDA does not legislate.
Well, we know that too, but he doesn't, or she.
As the FDA regulation reduced Juul's market share from 76.4% in 2019 to 35%, less regulated disposable vapes have replaced them as the ubiquitous vape of minors.
Absolutely.
Ubiquitous, Kevin.
Sure.
Ubiquitous. These vapes are most commonly produced in China and have very limited oversight regarding the safety of the ingredients. Now, I will tell you this.
I like the almost exclusively.
So this is like extremely racist, Kevin.
All right, I'm ready.
Because this guy is implying that just because the product was made in China, that they're unsafe, poorly made by. And I'm not saying this for myself, but I'm just saying by implication of this guy's words that Chinese workers are inept and cannot produce a safe product.
Well, there's a lot of people here.
I have friends that have been in China in the actual manufacturing facilities, and these places are fucking clean,
spotless.
They're
from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Bruni and Michael have joined us as well. I saw Mike.
Michael Redford says that he can walk to Delaware Vapor. Andrew at Delaware Vapor used to, because I for the first year that I vaped, I did not vape any tobacco at all. I only vaped one flavor. It was peach berry, and he would specially add a little bit of menthol in it because I like menthol. And he made an Arnold Palmer for Dimitri, and he would specially add menthol to Dimitri's Arnold Palmer and send us 120 ml bottles at a time, because with a low res 1.2 cartomizer in a carto tank, 120 mils could last like 6 weeks. Yeah. Andrew was a great guy, or is a great guy. I should say was. I don't think he's dead. Andrew was good people though. Anyway, where was I at? I forgot where it was at. I was in this paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Very little blah, blah, blah. So, this racist comment right here about Chinese people. That's not very, I'm married to an Asian woman and I don't like this at all. The companies producing them are involved in the illicit gray market, or in other words, use tactics such as arbitrarily changing names, relying on their cheap sales price, and operating outside of sanctioned distribution channels instead of brand recognition to attract customers.
Yeah, Yeah, Juul's changed.
So in other words,
40
they
times.
do business.
Right.
Yeah. In addition, these vapes can be imported with sweet flavors such as blueberry raspberry or lush ice, while companies such as Juul are forced to produce traditional cigarette flavors such as menthol or Virginia tobacco. So
Well, they weren't forced; they voluntarily
now
took it out, right?
the question is, okay, so the current ban on flavors in pods,
Yeah.
is limited specifically to pods, right? Refillable pods.
Mm-hmm.
And if Juul decided to make a pre-filled, not pod device,
Yep.
disposable device, they could do that, right?
Well, they can.
And then they could get away with making raspberry blue or lush ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of questioning why this guy is defending Juul, but he's basically bashing the cheap Chinese disposables and defending Juul. Is he on Juul's payroll? Loyola's own community has not been spared from these unregulated vapes. An anonymous student who did not want her views to be public knowledge disclosed how these vapes become prominent. She began vaping at age 14 using a Juul, so she admitted she broke the law.
What?
Since the restriction of Juul flavors, she began using unregulated brand of vape called Keef. She described, is that Queef? She described what made her switch. The flavor is the biggest reason to use a disposable. They also last longer than Juul pods would. Money wise, it just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So she's making a choice based on, what she can afford, or what is more
enjoyable
for her. She also described the fear of the unknown health effects that these unregulated vapes could theoretically cause.
Yeah.
She's concerned that cheap vapes have been tied to both chronic lung issues and heart concerns. That's a lie. There's a lie. That's a brainwashed chick right there. Sorry, but Yeah. Okay, let's see here. I'm kind of got like one nostril blocked. Kevin. I don't know why. What's going on here? What?
Oh no, I used to eat shit sandwiches, and then I changed it to shit sandwiches with barbecue sauce, and it tastes better.
A study published by Yale Medicine discovered that as a result of the new disposable vape loophole, 35% of teens reported using disposable vapes.
Yeah.
That's because they're not buying them from legal sources. So they have to go with a not legal product because they're buying them from illegal sources.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is a significant contrast to the additional 29% of teens who reported using refillable or Juul style cartridge pods. So
who are all
Juuls are not refillable. So that's one product, and then or Juul style.
Yeah.
This study supports the hypothesis that these vape bans have not been effective and have driven adolescents to less regulated and less safe alternatives.
It's a loophole.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
So glance is
just what's available, right?
Yeah,
that's usually what the kids will use.
That's where they'll go.
If Juul hadn't pulled their flavors, they would still be doing Juul, right?
I never said no to shit weed.
That's true. Skunk weed still sells.
It's skunk weed. That's fine. I don't care. Right?
How would I know what skunk weed is? Anyway, co-director of the Yale Tobacco Center for Regulatory Science, Suchitra Krishnan Saran, PhD, said, "I don't think it's safe for children to use any of these products. We are still concerned about the effects of nicotine on the developing brain.
And we don't know enough.
And we are worried about all the metals in the flavored products that will do what they do to developing wounds. The metals.
And scientists are confused about science.
Yes. To confuse scientists about
to confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science.
See?
He took a break from his boy porn or something and gave us a statement at least. Thanks. I appreciate that, Professor Puffins. Now we're all confused.
Yeah. The metals in the flavors. That's actually the first time I've actually seen somebody, a scientist or somebody supposedly with knowledge, blaming the flavors for the metals.
Right.
Look what they're trying to do. All the delicious flavors of e-cigarettes are poison.
Michael or Omicidal said it. Teens are gonna teen.
But this is a PhD person who is the co-director of Yale Tobacco Center for Regulatory Science, saying that the flavors, the metals are in the flavors, Kevin.
Patrick, regulatory is the key word you're missing.
Still a PhD. Come on.
It's still pseudoscience.
Additionally, some of these flavored disposable alternatives have been found to contain vitamin E acetate.
That's right.
That's a lie.
Well, if you look real close, right there where the F starts, it's right there.
Not unless these are disposable weed vaporizers.
Why is it that I keep hearing that clown song every time you're talking about this fucking guy?
Additionally, some of these flavored disposable alternatives, there it is, right? Have been found to contain vitamin E acetate, Kevin.
Well,
a chemical that has been tied to vaping-related lung injury known as So now they're trying to shift. So first they said vaping, then they kind of quietly admitted that it was black market illicit THC. Now they're going to say, oh, it's these disposable nicotine vapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Híjole.
Because they can't be held accountable, Big B.
Well, because this is some kid, some student writing an op-ed for the college paper.
Yeah.
That he copy and pasting quotes from other bullshit that he found on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
The FDA has failed to adequately protect teenagers from the harm of vaping throughout the introduction of vapes. The FDA continually failed to intervene with the aggressive, unethical, and downright manipulative marketing tactics geared towards children. They continue to disappoint with their lack of effectiveness in creating legislation that does not solve the root of the problem.
He's trying to be gut-filled. He's pretending he's gut-filled. Oh, my God.
The banning of Juul products has not reduced the number of smokers. It has just driven smokers to find more dangerous and less regulated outlets for their addiction. My anonymous source told me it's sad that I can't quit. I wish it was that easy. It costs a lot of money and probably is hurting my health.
Probably.
My anonymous source told me.
So the smokers are going to go to something else, but they're where do you find this shit? Oh my God.
A bunch of dumbasses, these people. I want to go on a shooting spree sometime, Kevin.
Scientists are confused about science.
No, to confuse the public about science and to confuse the scientists about science.
Yeah, it's all the same.
That's what his personal mission was.
Right there. It's right there. A whole fucking screen.
I will say that no child should be using any tobacco product. We are going to be taking action very soon, enforcement action.
Very soon was in 2018 when he said that.
And if it restricts adults, then, well, that's too bad, you fucking bastards.
He didn't do shit, though. That was the thing, is nothing happened.
They're not going to stop the train.
They're
going to deter the train. They're going to rewire the wiring for the train, but they're not going to stop the train.
Yeah, he just can't do shit. That guy's a dumbass. And he had idiots in the vaping community brainwashed that he was going to save everybody. It's like, oh, Trump is going to save vaping.
Well,
yeah.
Who taught you how to do this stuff? You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I learned it by watching you.
That's correct.
Yeah. So
what?
That Colorado, the AG of Colorado, was going to sue not just the company Juul, but he was going to go after certain employees and executives at Juul and sue them.
Ooh.
Did you didn't know
I did not hear that. No, and that would be fun in court.
Yeah. So I did rub it, but let me rub it again. Okay. Colorado Supreme Court blocks state's attempt to sue Juul executives personally. Personally.
Oh my God. They have errors and omissions insurance, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Either way.
And I'm also sure that
litigation
Colorado is probably one of those states that's going to take their $13 million settlement and agree never to sue Juul again.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, Maine so far is the only one that I've read about that has stepped away and said that we're not going to sign that.
This ain't enough.
But anyway,
we want more.
Yeah. So anyway, Colorado Supreme Court blocks state's attempt to sue Juul executives personally.
Good.
AG Phil Weiser, that seems right. Weiser, Weiser, sued Juul Labs in 2020, alleging company violated law by marketing products to you. Shouldn't be alleging the company.
You really have to be able to show that somebody marketed and then succeeded to the youth, don't you?
Well, you'd have to have memos or something saying specifically make our commercials and our packaging look like the Teletubbies to get the kids, or Barney the talking dinosaur or something like that. I'm
not saying it couldn't happen. I'm saying it would be really out there to find it.
Just say it.
You and I start a company, and then we just sit there and go, the best way for us to do this is get kids first, right?
Yeah, let's go after the kids and the blacks, Kevin.
One of us is going to tell the other to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, probably.
That's how that's going to go.
But I mean, we do know for a fact that that's what tobacco did.
Well, yeah,
Big Tobacco did for cigarettes.
Yes.
We had the Marlboro Man, or not Marlboro Man. We had the Winston Man, David Gerlitz, on the show where he specifically said, yes, they hired me to go and make smoking look exciting so that they could get the kids.
Yep.
And that they admitted that they didn't use their own products, that they were for the dummies and the blacks and the kids. That's what I didn't make this up.
Nope. Neither did he.
Winston Man testified in front of Congress and said that. The smoking assholes back in the day were evil. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure their kids today are not any better, but they're under a microscope now, so they can't be as evil. So anyway, 4 executives at electronic cigarette maker Juul cannot be personally sued in Colorado for their company's allegedly illegal marketing practices, the state Supreme Court ruled on Monday. Juul founders Adam Bowen and James Monsees and board members Nicholas Pritzer and Riaz Villani did not take enough action in Colorado or targeted at Colorado residents to be subject to personal liability in the state's civil courts. 6 of the state Supreme Court justices ruled on Monday. The 7th justice did not participate. He recused himself because he uses Juul. The ruling comes after Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser sued Juul Labs in 2020, alleging the company and in a later amended complaint, the 4 executives in particular violated state law by marketing their products to the youths and deceiving customers about product ingredients and health risks. There is no, I mean, as far as I can tell, and many scientists, there is no health risk. That's what, 4 executives had filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against them because of lack of personal jurisdiction. A district court judge denied that motion, which prompted the executives, who are all California residents, to appeal to the Colorado Supreme Court. Attorneys for the board members argued they could not be personally sued in Colorado because they did not take action targeted toward Colorado. But now, if they'd have made a pot Juul, which they did, act, by the way, but rather they were generally aware of the company's nationwide marketing campaign. Attorneys for the founders argued they couldn't be personally sued because they have no alleged connection to Colorado.
Well, Michael,
he's got to go to sleep. He's going night night.
This makes it a precedent to go to other state AGs to sue.
Now California, the AG of California is going to sue them because they live in California.
Right.
Yeah. Prosecutors in Weiser's office argued that the 4 executives were key players who oversaw, managed, and approved the company's allegedly illegal marketing campaign, which they said specifically targeted Colorado. Specifically.
Yes, of course.
It specifically targeted California, specifically.
Absolutely.
But the Colorado Supreme Court found that the state failed to show that the executives were primary participants in the wrongful conduct that they personally directed at Colorado, or that the injuries alleged in the amended complaint arose out of or related to defendants' Colorado-directed activities.
I've got a question, Patrick. Why is it that these government officials, mostly, and nonprofit, political fronters, are taking away the responsibility that the kids had to do it and putting it on a company who had nothing to do with their choice?
Yeah, because they don't actually, they're not the point of sale for most of their products. They did have a website at one point that they did like a subscription thing. You could, order. They did have that for a while.
It's a rhetorical question, but the idea that our liberties are being taken away because of assumptions and gaslighting, if you will.
That's why I named the show Gaslighting.
That's what it is. To regulate, restrict, tax, or ban personal choice and liberties. So just so you know, that little loop of what we name the show, what he named the show, not we, comes around and goes around.
It's almost like we plan this shit and it just works out every time. Just saying. Cheers.
You're pretty good at that kind of stuff, I guess. I still don't like you, though, just for the record.
I know. Kevin actually sent me a t-shirt picture. I will show it to you later. See, I'm wearing the Nicotine Nerd shirt tonight. I haven't worn this one in a while.
Yep, I saw that.
And it's purple. It's purple.
Yeah.
Purple rain. Yeah. Purple rain. The state alleges no facts supporting a conclusion that any of the defendants expressly aimed their conduct at Colorado, Justice Richard Gabriel wrote in the 39-page opinion.
Yeah.
The justices said the opinion should not be construed to mean people cannot be sued in Colorado unless they physically conduct business in the state. Yeah. Nothing in our decision today suggests that non-resident defendants can claim immunity merely because they have no or not physically set foot in Colorado, Gabriel wrote. As discussed above, the proper inquiry is whether defendants expressly aimed any conduct here, or this requirement can, in certain circumstances, be just satisfied absent any physical presence in the state. Yeah. A spokesperson for Juul Labs did not immediately return a request for comment on Monday. Yeah. The lawsuit against the company itself will continue, said Lawrence Pacheco, a spokesman for the Colorado Attorney General's office. Our efforts to hold Juul accountable are unaffected by the opinion from the Colorado Supreme Court, he said. The Department of Law will continue to press forward with our lawsuit and hold Juul accountable for its deceptive marketing and messaging campaign that targeted youth and downplayed the health risks and addictive nicotine concentrations of its e-cigarettes. In a separate matter, Juul agreed earlier this month to pay $440 million settlement to 33 states after the states conducted a 2-year investigation into its marketing practices. Colorado was not included in that settlement.
Aha. So
Aha.
I remember years ago when we were probably in our 20s, maybe late 20s.
For me, that was a few years ago. For you, that was not a few years
I would venture to say before I was married, so I was probably between 20 and 25. And now this is the one that was on the news. A couple allowed children to drink in their home, and then somebody ran off and killed somebody, or killed themselves possibly. I don't recall the whole thing, but the parents were held responsible because they were serving and allowing underage children to drink in their home. They hosted the party. Now, I get that, but I'm not happy with bartenders being accountable for that, because the adult has to make the adult decision, because that's an adult. I don't like it. I'm not saying I like it, right? And you don't sue Chevrolet for
most big companies, most big bars and restaurants and things like that do have a limit.
Yeah, they have a cutoff. I got it, but
yeah, there are actually some restaurants that hold you to like 3 shots.
2, 3,
yeah. Now, when I lived and worked in New Orleans, we had no limits. If you wanted to buy 20 shots, go ahead.
Well, money up front, though, right?
If you can't walk to your car, we will hire a cab.
Exactly.
But all right, so New York has a flavor ban, right, Kevin?
They do. They do. They want you to eat cardboard and poop.
Right, but the ban only works if people are actually following the ban and somebody is actually enforcing the ban, right? So this is from Syracuse.com.
Yeah.
It says, a kid-saving New York law almost no one enforces. How the flavored vape ban went up in smoke.
Say the first 5 words again.
A kid-saving New York law.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
A kid-saving New York law. Speaking of protecting kids, Kevin, I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute.
All right.
So there's a guy. This is unrelated, but sort of related. There's this guy who's running for governor of Texas. That's where I live. Against Greg Abbott, the current governor of Texas. And his name is Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beto O'Rourke, his real name is Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Huh.
But Beto is a Hispanic nickname.
Pseudonym.
It's a nickname. It's, short. Beto is sort of short for Robert.
It is?
Yeah, well, I'm not a Hispanic person, but in their mind it makes sense. I'm not gonna judge. But this guy goes around saying that his name is Beto. But Beto is running on since the kids were shot in the school. Ever since that happened, I mean, well, he was already anti-gun. Like he's been saying, I'm coming for your AR-15s. He said that repeatedly. I don't have an AR-15, so I don't care.
But you can send us some.
So, anywho, this guy's been kind of a little bit loopy, but he's been using that tragedy in Uvalde for a while. So I'm gonna deviate for just a second. So he's been tweeting stuff like this. The fact that Greg Abbott has chosen to take zero action to prevent another mass shooting in the 18 weeks since the 19 children and 2 students were killed in Uvalde tells you everything you need to know about the guy. Keeping kids safe demands that we vote him out. Now,
Yeah,
for people that have been following this crazy son of a bitch for a while, already knew that he was kind of a weirdo, kind of strange. But so Reuters recently did a deep dive on this piece of shit and found some of his writings. And he wrote this when he was like 15. It says, one day I was driving home from work and I noticed two children crossing the street. They were happy to be free from their troubles. This happiness was mine by right, and I had earned it in my dreams. As I neared the young ones, I put all my weight on my right foot, keeping the accelerator pedal on the floor until I heard the crashing of the two children on the hood and then the sharp cry of pain from one of the two. I was so fascinated for a moment that when after I had stopped my vehicle, I just sat in a daze, sweet visions filling my head.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who's claiming to care about kids.
Who's got homicidal tendencies.
He's been, he has this murder fantasy about killing kids with his car.
Right.
And this guy's running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
And then look, Lori Ann here says, you've got to win. What will we do? I can't live here anymore if we don't have change.
Sure.
Yeah. These people are so fucking brainwashed.
Well.
So I sorry that but we were talking about the kid saving law, and I got this guy running for governor here who his main talking point is saving the kids, but then he's writing stories about killing kids.
Well, of course.
So,
usually you perpetuate what you have done to others. So there you go.
I'm just disturbed by the stupidity of our people, Kevin.
He
he has no chance in hell of winning. Like, he's behind by like 8 points or something. But they're actually debating.
Shit crazy.
They're actually debating tonight. So I'm almost positive that the general media will say that Beta crushed Greg Abbott. But yeah, it's not going to help him any. Anyway, back to the kid saving law of New York. Here we go, Kevin. How the flavored vape ban went up in smoke.
Well,
all right. So now let's look at this. Now, I know this company is in Rochester, New York. Bad Vape. I actually had an argument with the owner of that company because they had e-liquid that came in a bottle that looked just like a prescription pill bottle.
Oh, well.
And I did. Anyway, peanut butter custard smoke fills the air in an Onondaga County vape shop behind two of the many flavor vapes on the shop sells. Flavor vapes were first banned in New York in 2019, but the law is not enforced. Yeah. The back wall of the vape shop and again, Onondaga strip mall is filled with tiny, brightly colored boxes. There's watermelon and blue raspberry. Do you like mint? They have that too.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Any flavor of vape you can think of, it's there, the clerk says. They're all illegal. New York first outlawed flavor vapes in 2019 in response to a teen vaping epidemic fueled by candied flavored nicotine smoke. Kevin, candy flavored nicotine smoke.
Cue the Governor Cuomo dumb fuck.
I don't have a governor.
Well, it's safer, but so what?
Look what they're trying to do. All the delicious flavors of e-cigarettes are poison.
That's the closest I have. Yeah. So, kids came for the sour apple and cotton candy. They stay because they get addicted to the nicotine.
No, stop. It is sour apple sour,
I don't know because I can't stand it.
or is it sweet? I don't know because I've never had it because I don't like sour crap to begin with. But
No.
if they like
cotton
sweet,
candy
why
just
would-
tastes like sugar to me.
right, yeah,
So.
that I believe. It probably doesn't taste like cotton candy, though, does it?
Teens not old enough to drive were ending up in emergency rooms with lungs that look like they belong to 80-year-old smokers.
Sure.
They called it popcorn lung.
Absolutely.
Now you find me one fucking kid that
Nope.
showed up to an emergency room anywhere that was diagnosed with popcorn lung.
And I'll give you $1. I'll give you 2.
They
Matter of
called it
fact,
popcorn lung.
I'll take some
You know,
of Logan's money
I'm
and
gonna-
I'll give him a 3.
I'm gonna get Captain and Tennille. They call it puppy love, and I'm gonna rewrite it. They
I thought
called
that was
it
Donnie and Marie.
popcorn lung.
I thought
No,
that
it was
and-
Donnie and Marie. It is
or Donnie. I guess.
It is Donnie and Marie. I think.
They call
Right.
it puppy love.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. They call it popcorn lung. Where's our musical people? We need to get on that right away.
Oh,
But the flavored vape ban has been largely ignored by county health officials and vape shops. The illegal vapes are still sold in dozens of shops around central New York, openly on display on shelves to lure Utes into the habit that has become a national child health disaster.
in fact, most of them have signs out saying, "Come on in, guys. We'll just let you buy this stuff."
Yeah.
That's what they
Some
do.
clerks who work in the shops that sell the vapes in Onondaga County know they're illegal. Others appeared to have no idea. Syracuse.com visited 8 vape shops and convenience stores in Onondaga County. Clerks in the stores that were selling vapes asked not to be identified because they were not allowed by their bosses to talk to a reporter. A clerk at one vape shop said their lawyer told them what they were selling was legal-ish. Now I know there's some really fucking sketchy attorneys in the vape world. One of them likes to shoot towards his neighbor's house with a crossbow and posts on the internet that ethics are not important. I'm not going to name names, but he's kind of fishy. You get my drift. He might be the type of attorney that would use the term lethal or legal-ish.
That's kind of like saying this is safer-ish.
Yeah. If the county comes and finds them or tells them they have to stop selling, they'll deal with it, he said. He was smoking a peanut butter custard vape as he talked.
No, he
The
wasn't.
room filled with sweet, earthy chocolate smoke.
No, it wasn't.
If it's peanut butter, why would it come out as chocolate?
Or why would it be smoke if it's vapor?
There's chocolate in my peanut butter. No, there's peanut butter in my chocolate. For years, public health officials have provided data showing how flavors drive the youth vaping epidemic. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Getting rid of the sour apple chocolate and gummy bear smoke is the key to ending the problem. Recent data shows continued rampant use of flavored vapes by youth. According to an annual national survey. Oh, let me click on this hot link.
2019?
Let's see, what year is this? 2021.
No way.
Which proves that the number, that's what's coming up, Kevin. 2021.
Well, that's what they linked.
Yeah, but the numbers are actually lower. They did not rise. More than 2 million high school students regularly vaped, and 85% of them used flavored vapes. Well, technically, all vapes are flavored. Even the tobacco ones are flavored. When New York passed the law banning flavored vapes, county health departments were left on the hook for enforcing it. And they also get to collect any fines collected, you dumbasses. So they should be motivated to enforce it.
Hang on.
What?
I'm looking. Paul Anka did Puppy Love.
Oh.
And
Are you?
also did Puppy Love.
Oh, come on. Let's just go over here to YouTube.
I didn't know it was Paul Anka. That breaks my heart that I didn't know that.
Hey, there's a show called Gaslighting, Son of Liberty Radio, right there. Puppy love. So, according to that, Paul Anka, Donny Osmond.
Yes, Donnie
have
redid
both
it.
done.
I didn't know it was a remake.
Well, I would think Paul Anka probably did it originally.
Now I got to look up the Paul Anka version. Damn it.
Let's see. It's black and white, so this is obviously not the.
Jesus, Ed must have been about 70 when he saw this.
Yeah, let's see.
Teamwork lights you up.
Video will play after ad.
Logan, every time we're watching something, an ad comes, it's an ad. It's an ad. Beach nut.
Number 9 and 10, they're new. Let's
Look at
check
Dick Clark.
8 in the top 10 board. Let It Be Me by the Everly Brothers. Number 7, Running Bear. What in the World's Come Over You, Lonely Blue Boy. Number 5. Number 4, Theme from a Summer Place. Number 3 is Handyman. Number 2, Where When. Number 1 is Teen Angel.
Teen Angel.
Nobody likes flavors. Beach nut spearmint.
Yeah.
1 through 8, and this is number 9. Somewhere
beyond the sea.
As Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin, and this.
Ooh, you see all the ladies? Woo!
Yeah.
So how is this Paul Anka Puppy Love, though?
I don't know. He must have been a guest.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
You notice he doesn't have a microphone?
Yes.
Yeah. You think maybe he's lip syncing?
Are you saying lip syncing was way before Milli Vanilli? Because it was.
I think so.
Oh, I guess I'll never know.
No. All right, so I think we've responded to and answered that question regarding puppy love.
And Donnie did it after.
Yes, well, obviously. But I did not see a Leif Garrett. I did see somebody in the chat room who thought it was a Leif Garrett song.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Sugar,
anyway.
my dad used to do a dirty version of that song, but I can't sing it here.
Oh, no. I don't even want to think about anybody's dad singing a dirty song. So anyway, let's see. La la la, getting rid of blah blah blah. Lie. Okay, when New York passed a law banning flavored vapes, county they were like I said, in some places, especially small counties, that's a heavy lift.
Yeah,
many had bigger problems to focus on during the pandemic.
Right.
But once the pandemic peak subsided, the vape ban was largely forgotten.
Yeah.
Onondaga County has not been enforcing the ban, but after being contacted by us and this person, the environmental health director, Lisa Letney, said the county will begin citing stores that sell flavored vapes. There are 400 shops in the county that have licenses to sell vapes, Letney said. She said the department sent educational letters to stores at some point telling them the flavored vapes were illegal, but that they were not fined and cited. Cited anyone. The county has been enforcing the part of the same law that makes it illegal to sell any vape products under the age of 21. Letney said the state hadn't given the county enough guidance about how to enforce the law, but the law clearly states that it's illegal, and the sanctions for each package of flavored vapes offered for sale, a store can be fined $100. They can lose their license to sell vapes, and they can lose their license to sell lottery tickets, which many vape stores offer. Well, not, yeah. Anyway, Cuyahoga County has cited and fined some stores for selling flavored vapes, said Eileen O'Connor, director of environmental health there. One store, the Panda Smoke Shop, was fined $20,000 this month. So, yeah, that's money that the health department gets to keep. O'Connor said that this was not the shop's first violation. I thought you were. Schools and parents in Herkimer and Oneida, whatever, counties were so overwhelmed by vaping problems that they asked state police for help. School officials told the police that kids were inhaling so much flavored nicotine smoke that they became ill and had to be hospitalized.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The result was Operation Vaporizer. In late August, teens working undercover with police went into 20 stores to buy vapes. More than half the stores made the sale. They were charged with making the sale to a kid, but all the shops were violating the flavor ban too. Every single store I was in had flavored vapes, he said. But because the flavor vape ban is a public health law and enforced by the health department, the police could not do anything about it. The clerks were also charged with selling to minors. Will have to appear in court.
Good.
It's your charge.
Good.
Would you? What?
They have to appear in court.
A Syracuse.com spot check of 8 vape shops and convenience stores in Onondaga County, I'm not going to ever say that right, revealed that convenience stores owned by large chains appeared to follow the ban, selling only unflavored and tobacco-flavored vapes. Yeah, that's true. Unless they employees are selling them out of their own pocket. Anyway, a clerk at an independent gas station said they didn't sell flavored vapes, but a small display included Summer Love and banana cherry flavored vapes. Summer Love, Kevin.
What does Summer Love taste like?
Sweat and shame.
Right. That smells like underage purchase.
The clerk at one gas station that didn't sell flavor vapes offered directions to a shop that offered hundreds of flavors.
Hundreds.
Well, that's, if that's what they want. The clerk at a smoke shop that's part of a chain said their corporate management won't let them sell flavored vapes because they're illegal, but someone can come set up shop next door and sell them with impunity, he said. A few miles away in a suburban strip mall near a high school, a clerk ran the list of flavored vapes he had lined up in candy-colored boxes on the back wall.
Oh.
When asked if they were legal, she responded, I don't know. You want to buy it or not?
I wonder if they have a vape that tastes like regret and sorrow.
Well, it's the same thing as sweat and shame.
I don't know. Do you want one or don't you?
That's what she said. Do you want to buy one or not? I don't know. Buy it or not?
Not with that tone.
Yeah. I'll take my money elsewhere to another rude New Yorker tobacco seller.
Unless you have summer sweat, then I want one. Because,
All right, Kevin.
What?
You're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
I don't like anything you're about to say, but all right.
What I'm gonna say is going to be very unpopular.
Okay. All right.
So earlier this week, I saw on Twitter that somebody had written or published a series of tweets.
Yeah.
Asking the question, did you know that all of these public health, anti-vaping public health groups were funded by 3 billionaires? And it was a very long tweet thread. And I'm just like, I knew everything in here because we've done shows over the last 2 years, specifically pointing out everything that you are trying to say sounds like something that you thought you were the first person to come up with that idea, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about Bloomberg. We've talked about the Gates people and the Bill and Melinda Gates and, et al. We had Henaj H on the show talking about having the tax records of all these front groups that took money from Bloomberg. We've been talking about this for a long time. And I thought that especially the people in this show would have at least remembered that we've talked about philanthrocolonialism quite a lot.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. And, that all goes hand in hand. But here's a piece in the Washington Free Beacon How 3 liberal nonprofits drive the anti-vaping campaign. And this is from Joseph Simonson. This is from September 26th. So not only is this paper regurgitating our content, but this other vaping group is stealing our content without saying, hey, all of this stuff was talked about on Son of Liberty Radio over the last 2 years. We're just gonna take everything he said verbatim and put it in a text or a tweet. See how bitter I am? See how mean I am?
You're a little moody sometimes.
I know, right?
Cranky
Hey, look at
almost.
this. Look at all of this. They got all this stuff up here. They got hookahs and
Oh yeah,
Juuls, and over
That's a
here
hell of
they've
a
got
dress plant.
e-liquids.
hookah.
Yeah, these are hookahs all up here.
They got whippets.
I can't tell. They might.
Damn kids.
Yeah. It looks like they got cigarettes over here.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's a Marlboro display right there.
yeah.
I don't see no snooze though.
Nope.
You need some snooze.
Ain't got no. Probably don't.
Oh, you know what? This refrigerator right here could easily be a snus. Because, you know, snus are supposed to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
And the general snus, they have little refrigerators. So this actually could possibly, I can't tell. I mean, let me see. Let's open image in a new tab. Let's see, because I can zoom in on that bitch then. Let's see.
Maybe.
It definitely looks like there could be cans. That could be a snus can right there. Looks like a little circular shape.
Is Kodiak or anything like that supposed to be refrigerated?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't think it would be.
But they've got open systems here. This is a pretty nice little bodega.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a tobacco shop that sells vaping products. Photo from Getty Images. So it is a stock image.
That's where I got my first vape.
What, at a bodega?
No, at a tobacco shop.
Oh. Well.
We have bodegas over here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that they've got bodegas everywhere.
It's not Hobunk Dayton like you think, though.
Huh?
Huh? Hobunk Dayton.
Huh?
That's right.
Nicotine vaping provides a safer and healthier alternative to smoking, according to dozens of public health groups and governments, including the CDC and the FDA and American Cancer Society. But
That's
3
what I
liberal
mean.
nonprofits that claim to be devoted to science and public health are bankrolling one of the largest public health campaigns in U.S. history to ban vaping products in the United States. Chugga says, what is a bodega? A bodega would be like an independent dairy. They're little little convenience stores that might have a few grocery items, some, you know, sodas and some beers and
food,
some food items, some little you know, but it's a bodega would by definition be like a family convenience store, like one run by a family instead of a big corporation. You can buy, lots of them have like shoestrings and anything from potato chips to shoestrings to beer to milk, all sorts of fresh fruit and vegetables. Maybe they have a little section of, bananas and apples and oranges, but yeah. Anyway,
sandwiches.
Yeah, pre-made sandwiches. Bloomberg Philanthropies and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have teamed up, spending $100 million since 2017 on grants, research, and other nonprofits, all dedicated to outlawing nicotine products.
No, really?
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has, to a lesser degree, joined this effort.
No.
Yes, we've talked about them. giving over $20 million since 2017. In total, the money amounts to an enormous crusade to undercut vaping and non-combustible tobacco products. We know for a fact that that number is estimated. We have proof that that Bloomberg himself has spent over $400 million in the last 2 years. So, anyway, but the push also comes amid mounting evidence that smoking alternatives provide a significantly healthier alternative to traditional cigarettes and cigars. Some of the very groups working to ban vaping products from the U.S. market include the Truth Initiative, concede that vaping could dramatically lower smoking rates. I have never seen the Truth Initiative say that.
Not those words, no.
The biggest contributor to the anti-vaping effort is Bloomberg Philanthropies, the eponymous, named after charity started by a billionaire Democratic mega donor and former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Since 2017, his charity has given large sums of money to anti-tobacco organizations such as the Campaign to Lie to Kids or the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. That group, which has received at least $60 million from Bloomberg, has called for the elimination of all flavored vape products, as well as popular vapes such as Juul. For months, the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids lobbied the FDA to deny FDA's marketing application, which would have effectively shut down the company. And this is what your parents would have looked like if you don't let them vape and make them keep smoking.
That's exactly what they look like.
That is a... did somebody say that these ads are populated by my search history? I don't know what would have motivated the Truth About Side Sleepers to be my
necrophiliac
search history. Huh? What? The FDA in June concurred with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids position. There's a Zamora. There's a Zamora. There's a Zamora in the chat room. The FDA in June concurred with the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids position. The move earned applause from the group, calling the FDA's decision the most significant action to reverse the youth e-cigarette epidemic in the agency's history, until a federal judge said, "You're fucking idiots." The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids spent just under $1 million in lobbying efforts in the lead up to the FDA's decision this year. Federal records show among the firms hired were NVG LLC, a Democratic-led or connected lobbying firm with a focus on FDA-related issues. Experts warned that outside lobbying efforts could steer the FDA away from making scientifically sound decisions on vaping devices. Dr. Cliff Douglas, the former president of tobacco control at the American Cancer Society, wrote last year that tobacco control organizations such as the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids have applied inordinate pressure on the FDA. Inordinate. Paul is absolutely psychotic. He says that Heineken is a still better beer than Stella. You're losing respect by the second, my friend. I might go to the beer refrigerator in just a second and get a Stella, though.
Little Kings, right?
Yeah.
Can you go back up one paragraph to the top of that first? There. Outside lobbying efforts could steer the FDA away from making scientifically sound decisions. Now, correct me, Patrick. Didn't Caliph say they were going to make scientifically sound decisions?
Hey, and yes. And Biden said, we're going to follow the science.
Right. Whose science? Okay, sorry. Had to backtrack a second there. I didn't want to forget that.
You have between Paul being mad that I called him on his poor choice in beer, and you dragging me to a different paragraph.
I'm trying not to interrupt.
And my still clogged right nostril.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. Now he's drinking IPAs.
I don't know what that is.
He's turning into a hipster right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids did not respond for. Oh no, I got it. FDA's scientific review process must be protected, Douglas wrote. Unfortunately, unless the warring factions find ways to join hands in support of the health and well-being of everyone, youth and adults alike, the heat and rhetoric around these questions may only increase, and so will the cost to the health of our nation.
Mm-hmm.
The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids did not respond for comment. Bloomberg Philanthropies and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation did not respond to requests for comment either.
Now, for
other Bloomberg groups, this group right here, Vital Strategies, they have spent buttloads of money all over the world in on the behest of Bloomberg.
Guess who's putting that?
Huh?
You know who the head of that is, or the CEO?
Not now. Who is it now?
It's Tom, whatever the fuck, CDC guy there. Tom Frieden?
Tom Frieden?
Frieden?
Yeah, lying piece of shit. That guy, he's in charge of Vital Strategies now.
He was. I don't know if he still is. Yeah.
Yes. So other Bloomberg-backed groups, including Vital Strategies, pushed for the ban as well. Vital Strategies, which describes itself as a public health organization dedicated to it is a money laundering organization. Has led for it is wholly and entirely funded by Michael Bloomberg.
How do you reimagine public health?
Yeah.
You gaslight the public to reimagine it.
So this is another lie. Bloomberg Philanthropies has given over. Yeah, well, that's not a lie, actually. Given over 42 million to Vital Strategy since 2017. Over 42 million. Yeah, $400 million is over $42 million. So yeah, that's true. Just under half of those funds, $20 million, have been earmarked for a global tobacco industry watchdog named Stopping Tobacco Organizations and Products. Stop. That is creative. Vital Strategy says it is a main partner in Bloomberg's $1 billion initiative to reduce tobacco use.
And my interjection is going to be they're not spending $20 million to help people stop smoking. No. They're going after a nameless, faceless set of corporations, just so you're aware. It's a chess game. That's all it is. It's all it's been. It's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Bloomberg Philanthropies is also in an explicit partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, founded by billionaire and former Microsoft CEO Bill Gates. The foundation gave $4 million with an M in 2019 to Bloomberg Philanthropies for anti-tobacco initiatives, including Vital Strategies, according to publicly available tax forms. That same year, the Gates Foundation committed over $60 million to the left-wing advocacy group New Venture Fund. That grant was specifically earmarked for, among other things, tobacco control. Yeah. Industry groups such as the American Vaping AVM. Had they added an A? Are they now AVMA? Okay. Have said the vaping regulation process is corrupted by the outside influence of these groups. This crucial public health issue, which ought to be guided strictly by scientific analysis, has been gripped in a stranglehold by pompous tycoons utterly unaccountable to anyone, said Amanda Wheeler in a statement to the Washington Free Beacon. The effect is that countless Americans are being deprived of the single most effective smoking cessation method ever that ought to be a national scandal. A lesser-known organization, the Robert Wood Johnson. How is Robert Wood Johnson Foundation lesser known?
Well,
that's Johnson & Johnson, bitches. They're quite. I've known them forever.
Well, we have,
especially if you watch PBS, because at the end when they do shows like this, have been brought to you by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
They should sponsor us.
Yeah, I know. The lesser-known organization, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, led by former President Barack Obama's CDC Director Richard Besser, was given nearly $12 million to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids since 2017. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has funded other efforts as well, giving nearly $3 million in 2020 to the Public Law Center.
Yep.
The Public Health Law Center this year released a policy book for e-cigarettes in conjunction with the Vaping Prevention Resource, the self-described leading online destination for vaping prevention media.
Mm-hmm. I did double check.
I was going to say, this thing is pretty damn long.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, like Will Ferrell, or not Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Yeah, he's the president and chief executive officer, Resolve to Save Lives, an initiative housed at Vital Strategy. So I'm not sure what his role was before that, but he was something of Vital Strategies at one point. Anyway.
Among other policies, the policy playbook recommends that local governments restrict the number of vape shop or vape retailers by setting an absolute cap on issuing new licenses, with the aim of fewer tobacco sellers in a targeted area. Some states, such as New York, have embraced that policy, while others, such as Connecticut, have said it will lead to black markets, and it will.
And it does.
In recent years, the Democratic Party has increasingly targeted tobacco products, along with deciding to end the sale of Juuls. President Joe Biden's FDA issued a rule banning menthol cigarettes and a regulation to significantly cut back the amount of nicotine. That's not true. They have not issued a rule.
No.
That's bullshit. They have a public comment period.
Yeah.
Okay. Democrats also proposed a tax on all vaping products in their initial budget reconciliation bill that later became the Inflation Reduction Act. That plan would have taxed vape products at a rate of $50.33 for every 811 milligrams of nicotine they contain.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That may have been a mistype. Issued a potential rule, or possibly going to issue a rule.
They have entered the rulemaking process.
Yeah,
something like that would have been better than issued a rule.
Clusterfuck. If you say it 3 times, Owl might show up.
If you say that 3 times, Granny will jump up. No, it's not Granny.
Judy
will jump up behind you.
Booga booga boo.
It's like Candyman, and you say his name 3 times.
Yeah,
will appear behind
the
you.
dumbest fucking movie I ever didn't want to watch.
What?
Yeah, I hated that fucking show.
I liked Candyman.
No, I don't like you, and I didn't like it. I was forced to watch.
Are you talking about the original, or they have a remake? Are you referring to the remake?
Oh hell, I don't even know. I'm assuming it was the original, late 80s, early 90s.
Oh yeah, that's the mid 90s. Well, I was in college, so mid 90s.
Somebody's wife made him watch it.
Virginia Madsen, she's hot.
Well, I'm not saying there were good qualities of the film.
Tony Todd with a hook hand.
It all sucked.
He's got that deep voice. Tony Todd, he's an awesome actor. All right, hey, we got video.
No way. I'm getting caught.
We're going to show you a video now, Kevin.
All right, I'm ready.
And I've already, unless YouTube is going to, screw with me, I've got to make sure that their audio is working. See, Omicidal agrees with me. Not the remake, the original. But anyway, let's see. This is hospital recruiting for trial of new treatment for vaping addiction.
I expected it to be difficult to quit using. I don't think I expected it to be quite as difficult as it ultimately was.
Michael Werner was a college student in Vermont when he first used a vape.
You can use them in bathrooms. You can use them in the back of your classroom. You can use them pretty much wherever.
Slender.
Really? Are school teachers that stupid that kids could do this all over the place with impunity?
And discreet, this vaping device from Juul transformed the tobacco industry when it was first introduced in 2015. Users loved the way it mimicked a cigarette, but without the toxic smoke. Instead, the device heats a pod containing solvent, flavor, and nicotine into a vapor that's inhaled.
It kind of appeared to be nicotine without the consequences.
Researchers now know that's not true. After years of declining tobacco use, the number of teenagers using vapes surged.
That it had a higher concentration of nicotine in it, and that had nicotine in a different formulation that made it easier to inhale, that it just took off.
Dr. Nancy Rigotti runs the...
No, I do Kevin's like skated out, like he's hiding, like I'm, playing this video for his edification, and he ran away. But again, this is them blaming one company for all of the ills, which is crazy. But anyway.
Tobacco Research and Treatment Unit at Mass General Hospital. She says many of those teenage users are now young adults and looking to quit.
Some of them are able to, but some of them aren't. And they need help. And we don't really know how to help them because this is a new problem.
Since people who vape may...
We don't know how to help them. Well, maybe suggest they taper down their nicotine levels, until they don't need nicotine. If they choose not to use nicotine, seems like, people are being uncreative in their thinking.
They require different treatments than cigarette smokers. Dr. Rigotti is now recruiting participants for a new clinical trial at MGH. This one testing the effectiveness of a medicine called cytisinicline, which is from a plant by the same name.
It's a natural product that...
Oh, let's give you an untested herb.
Yeah.
Herb.
I heard my name. Don't keep my name out of your mouth.
Were you peeing or something?
Get coffee.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That guy's career is over, by the way.
I'm going to tell you this right this second. I am not struggling. That's all I know.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Has been used in Eastern Europe for decades as a smoking cessation medicine.
Early research indicates cytisinicline may block the rush from a nicotine hit and reduce the symptoms of withdrawal. It's a challenge that Michael understands.
May.
Look
at that beard. That's epic.
That is a pretty look at. He's got his
I like it.
Multiple earrings over here in his ear. This is definitely a weak hipster beta male guy.
I don't care if he's right or wrong. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool.
Well, he needs to clean up his beard. It's too he's
unkempt.
Yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to do it, if they really wanted to do something, they could have just tested psilocybin.
Oh.
As little as a tenth of a dose of psilocybin has shown to reset the brain and help people that want to stop using nicotine stop.
Firsthand.
I sustained a nicotine habit for an additional year after I actually wanted to quit. That entire year telling friends, I'm trying to quit, I want to quit.
After 25 to 30 attempts, Michael said quitting cold turkey worked for him. He's now the research coordinator for this trial, hoping to make recovery quicker and easier for the next generation.
To actually have that freedom from addiction, combined with my lungs feeling so much better, my throat not feeling scratchy, spending less money on it, it's really a wonderful feeling.
MGH plans to enroll 30 people who want to quit.
30 people, Kevin. That is a substantial study group, right? 30 people.
Patrick, because you can use the word extrapolate without saying it.
That is better than the one that we talked about 2 weeks ago that had 4 participants.
Well, 1/5 of 2/7 is pretty prominent when you extrapolate. Yeah. Come on.
Vaping, participants will take a pill 3 times a day for 12 weeks. To learn more about signing up, you can log on to our website.
A pill 3 times a day, 4 times a week, Kevin.
I've got something on this already. It's been around a while, and it's all bullshit to me. But you do you and see what you can do with it. And I'm not looking for it. I don't care that much. One more thing.
No idea what you're talking about.
Just babbling about.
All right. So I don't remember this. I think Mallory, somebody I know Mallory responded to this. Yeah. But this kind of made me scratch my head.
All right. I like that.
All right. So this is from James Lilix, who is a blue check mark. So he is a writer and columnist for the Star Tribune.
Yeah.
So he does pop culture stuff. So it says here, the Netflix Dahmer series has a content warning for smoking, but it doesn't say when it happens. So you don't know when to shield the child's eyes.
Right. You didn't understand it, or you?
So this guy is concerned because apparently at the beginning of the show, it says this show contains smoking and sex and nudity or something, right?
Right.
But it doesn't give you the timestamp of exactly when the smoking happens.
Yeah.
So that he can block the child from seeing somebody smoke a cigarette. But the violence, the nudity, none of that matters.
Nor the killings or eating of people.
Nor the fact that the show is about a cannibal serial killer.
I love this fucking tweet so goddamn much. It's nominated for Tweet of the Year.
Who not only did Jeffrey Dahmer murder and eat people, but he raped, murdered, and ate children. So you're going to watch this show about a murdering, raping pedophile, and you're concerned that your child will see a cigarette.
That's I don't think he is. I think he just be a smart ass.
I don't know. This is the flavor of some of the idiots on Twitter that, you know.
I took it as sarcasm. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna read these replies. I see Mallory there, but I'm just like,
look at the quotes. Just I want to hear the quotes.
What quotes?
14 of them.
Let's see. So this is a very high quality tweet.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
I would have to assume a potentially worrying ambiguity from the British perspective as to what this means if it relates to any possible smoking of fags shenanigans.
Yeah.
You being a blue check have no right to be this funny.
Oh, that's good.
Smoking needs a content warning. Family fun to have a man in translucent cloth thrust his genitals at a 4-year-old child. Lulz. This country is ridiculous. Holy crap, Lilix is still alive. It's like going to Reb's Lobster and blah. I feel like this is a good summation of 2022. Care about the wrong things. This one's in Spanish. Let's see if there is there a translate button. Hey, Quay Tenar, you have to have the talk ready if not. Okay. This is somewhere between human dissections, body parts, and fridges, blood, dead animals, dead animal dissections, and murder.
I'm just here for the comments.
Clap, 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 clap. Ha, 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 ha.
Some dumbass.
By some dumbass. I'm going to say double dumbass. I'm always tickled to see one of the blogosphere greats on here. I don't have no idea who that guy is.
Thank you for indulging me. I thought that was hilarious.
Blogosphere.
I've tweeted shit like that before with the against smoking. That's a glance thing too. They don't want smoking in movies. They want to ban it all. They want to take it away. They want to take Churchill's cigar out of his mouth. You know, I don't understand how you want to just. It's gone. It doesn't work here anymore.
I was watching a video about, and it was some far right guy, like a far right influencer, like talking to a congressperson about whether white privilege exists or not, and about the fact that they're changing history. I disagreed with him on the fact. I completely agree that I'm not saying I have privilege, but I do also believe that I don't have to worry as much as African American people do if I do something I'm not supposed to do. I will say that. I if a cop pulls me over, I don't have to worry. I might have to worry. You never know.
Should
but I don't automatically, have a hypertensive event because a cop pulled me over.
Yeah.
Whereas people of color, young male people of color specifically do. So I don't know if you call that privilege or not, but
mindset at minimum.
Yeah. But I also believe that we've overcorrected in some places where now white guys are afraid to say, speak an opinion about a topic because they're afraid that regardless of whether or not they have a valid opinion, that their opinion is going to get criticized just because it's a white dude that said it.
Yeah.
There's a TV show, She-Hulk TV show. And a lot of people are complaining because it's not very good. And if you're a white guy and you complain, it's because you're a sexist, homophobic, racist. Just because it's it's not done well. It's really a bad show. But a lot of people are afraid to express an opinion because they're immediately going to be labeled a racist, homophobe or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the problem does exist, but I think we've overcorrected a little bit, maybe. But anyway, here, this is the last of the gaslighting topic, Kevin. This is the last of the gaslighting. So
You're not convincing me.
This is from Guy Bentley.
All right.
FDA admits vaping is safer than smoking, but refuses to correct the record. Don't expect a change in course despite the long-awaited admission.
Yep.
Mowgli vapes. They killed Dahmer's ass in Columbia County State Pen right by Portage, Wisconsin for messing around with children. There is a code of the ethics amongst prisoners. Child rapists are not tolerated.
Yeah, he wouldn't go last
said.
long. So I like Guy.
Oh, he made a joke. Okay. Now, I did tell a story last week about the inmate killing 2 pedophiles and then his prison account getting flooded with donations. Remember I talked about that?
Yep. So I do like Guy, but I don't like the words despite the long-awaited admission because they've admitted it previous, as we just covered.
But they haven't really screamed it from the rooftop either. Though.
I know.
I mean, they have quietly admitted it in outlets where people aren't looking.
Right. We've had to dig.
But they haven't spent any money on a massive awareness campaign to educate the public. No, they haven't done that either.
No, never.
So this was published on the 29th, which was yesterday. Is the FDA changing its tune on electronic cigarettes? No. Nope. In May, Brian King was appointed head of the FDA Center for Tobacco Products. King is not known for championing e-cigarettes or risk-reduced alternatives to cigarettes, but after a few months on the job, he is out on the media and conference circuit giving a clearer idea of how he envisions the future of nicotine regulation.
Well, not one stop on that circuit, but all right.
Okay, so in it, this actually is quoting the interview that I started the show out with tonight.
Yeah.
Which he did not give any clear vision of what he is expecting in the future.
No.
Unless there's more to that interview than what the AP published. In an interview with the AP on Monday, King was asked about surveys showing most people think e-cigarettes are just as dangerous as traditional cigarettes and whether that was a problem. And yes, that was included in what we talked about. He says, I am fully aware of the misperceptions that are out there and aren't consistent with the known science. We do know that e-cigarettes as a general class have markedly less risk than a combustible cigarette. King went on to say that communication campaigns must use science and evidence and be careful of avoiding unintended consequences. And just because of the unintended consequences and the discussion about campaigns, let's watch this short 2-minute video.
We would prefer to not have kids on the continuum of risk, if at all possible. But we recognize that's not possible because kids are kids, and there's many reasons why they choose to do different types of things. I started saying that we wish, at least from the FDA's perspective, that kids were not entering into the continuum of harm, but once they're there, how do we care for them? And our messaging is prevention based, and so we're trying. We certainly acknowledge that teens are teens and that they are experimenters. If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful. But vaping alone, especially if you've never been a cigarette user, vaping alone is not benign. And so we try to give them that frame of reference. And what I would say is kids are incredibly smart. I'm sure both of these gentlemen, I'm sure see that. And they.
I don't know how there's an echo because I'm wearing it.
Yeah, imagine her saying that. Huh.
So she specifically says they have spent no effort on educational campaigns other than prevention-based campaigns.
And she said kids are very smart.
And then, and they have a mile-wide bullshit detector.
Well, I thought they had brain development problems or something, but they're very smart at the same time. I don't understand the contradiction.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Maybe you know what? No, it can't be that. I don't know why there would be an echo because I'm wearing headphones. See? There's no sound in here. There's nothing for it to echo. Weird.
Did you?
Oh, you know what? Here, let me do this. I'm just gonna play a few seconds just to see. I won't play that one. Let's play a different clip, and you tell me if there's echo or not.
We find that the governor, on many occasions.
So there was no echo on there. It was because of the share screen then. Because I had the share screen.
Because Glance did it earlier too, but I thought you did it on purpose.
No, it was because of the share screen. If I'm sharing a screen and then I play a video at the same time, must be causing.
Before you move on, speaking of the Victor share screen,
you're going to start botting as soon as you do this. You know that, right?
It's a goal. I'm a bot and everything.
No, wear fucking headphones and then it won't happen.
I don't want it. I'm not doing it. This is one of the few that I have, but I only have 3 or 4. I just grabbed one. When someone intentionally twists your perception of reality for their own gain based on the play and movie, gaslight. Just so everybody's aware of gaslight. Some people may not know.
Yeah.
Patrick, your glasses are purplish.
It's because I have that blue screen. I have a blue shirt, a purple shirt, and the lights, and this has also got the computer glare reduction.
You're not going to convince me. Nope.
Stuff on it.
Nope, they're just purple.
They're not purple. See, because the purple moves. If I move my head, the purple moves. Dumbass. Anyway, yes, I already read that paragraph. Let's see. Earlier this year, Clive Bates, a tobacco harm reduction advocate and former chief of the anti-smoking charity Action on Smoking and Health, called the public misperceptions of vaping an American crime scene. Vapes was referencing the 2020 Health Information National Trend Survey showing just 2.6% of Americans accurately believe that e-cigarettes were much less harmful than combustible cigarettes. Harm reduction advocates such as Bates believe these misperceptions about the risk of vaping are holding back many smokers from switching to a safer product and causing a rash of bad public policy decisions. These include bans of non-nicotine or non-tobacco flavors in e-cigarettes, capping nicotine levels, and taxes that make vapes just as expensive as cigarettes. King's acknowledgement that much of the public is wrong on the known science and that we know that e-cigarettes as a general class have markedly less risk than combustible cigarette products is more straightforward than anything you'll find on the FDA website.
Yep.
There's a quote. Many studies suggest e-cigarettes and non-combustible tobacco products may be less harmful than combustible cigarettes, reads the FDA's main page on e-cigarettes. However, there is not yet enough evidence to support claims that e-cigarettes and other ends are effective tools for quitting smoking. After King's statement on Monday, many were hoping to elicit further detail in a speech he gave 2 days later at the Global Tobacco and Nicotine Forum, which we should mention that our very good friend Skip spoke at, and we are endeavoring to find a good quality recording.
We heard good
this
words.
Actual previous GTNFs, I was registered and I had a password and a login where I had access to their content, but I didn't register for this one, so I don't have a password for this one. But I will be endeavoring to get a good quality recording of it, because obviously I'm going to make video of Skip.
We've heard good things on Twitter though about it.
But we love her, so we're gonna hopefully
Dr. Glover
find some good quotes for an intro video, and maybe even something that we can make fun of her for, because we do love to make fun of her as well.
I hope Mark's okay though. Dr. Glover mentioned that it was great. Greg Conley mentioned it was great. I'm looking very forward to it.
In a different side note, I will take this off the screen for a minute. We do hope. I have made an effort. Kevin asked me 2 weeks ago whether we were going to mention it or not, but since Raj has finally mentioned it on his social media, there was a health problem with his wife, and she's getting better now. So I would hope that each and every one of us would send some positive vibes to our friend Raj, who has not been around, because we love each other like brothers and sisters here.
Yep.
And we really want his wife to pull through.
Yep.
Back to this. I did take a moment though, but
yeah.
I gotta switch this. There we go. Share screen. Yes. An annual conference that bills itself as a global exchange for views and ideas between public health experts, government representatives, the industry, and investors. The conference's sponsors and most attendees are drawn from the tobacco and e-cigarette industries. Those looking for an expansion on King's remarks to the AP were left disappointed. King told attendees that he believes in a continuum of risk. He stole that from previous asshead.
Yep.
No, Zeller stole it from the other guy, Gottlieb.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Gottlieb was the first one to talk about continuum of risk in those words that I remember. The idea is that combustible cigarettes are the most dangerous form of nicotine consumption, and nicotine replacement therapies are the safest. Toward the safer end of the spectrum are products like e-cigarettes that offer smokers a satisfying nicotine product without the smoke that may kill them.
And snus.
And
smokeless. And Dr. Rodu was there as well, by the way.
Pouches and
just to plug Dr. Rodu, he was also there.
Apparently, nicotine gummies and all sorts of nicotine sticks.
This makes me, the toothpicks. This makes me think that King talked to the guy that went to PMI and he said, "Yeah, don't stick around because they're going to rip your ass." And he just off he went.
Probably. Yeah. So anyway. But King didn't mention the public's misperceptions about the relative risks of e-cigarettes. Instead, King highlighted that the FDA had denied more than 99% of e-cigarette applications to stay on the market, and e-cigarettes still present a danger to youth.
So
when asked by reason...
They're markedly safer, but they denied 99%.
Because they... apparently, their admission that they're safer is still not appropriate for the protection of public health. When asked by reason whether the FDA is going to commit any resources to correct misperceptions about e-cigarettes, King simply responded, "I can't commit to any specific actions," which means no, we're not gonna correct the brainwashing that we've been actively participating in. When asked for further comment, an FDA spokesperson responded saying the FDA continues to explore how best to communicate with the public about the continuum of risk related to tobacco products. We cannot comment on or commit to any specific actions at this time. However, We do note that it is critical that the development and implementation of public health education campaigns are evidence-based to best achieve intended effects on the target population while minimizing adverse consequences for the population as a whole.
I feel like I've been gaslighted just now.
Yes. In other words, the FDA has no plan to correct any of the widespread misinformation about e-cigarettes anytime soon. If you want to know the real risks of cigarettes versus combustible cigarettes, you'll have to look for the UK government for that, or watch Son of Liberty Radio on Smoke Free Radio, or YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
That was pretty slick. I like that.
Yeah.
You didn't even skip a beat. Look at you go.
No.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. So do you feel thoroughly gaslit, Kevin?
I do.
Thoroughly.
I feel as if I saw something I didn't see.
You can't unsee the truth.
I want to say
no one can be told what the Matrix is. They have to be shown.
That's true. I want to tell Skip herself, because I think she's going to watch this, and she may not get this far, but I want to say how proud I am.
She always watches.
I'm so proud of Skip for doing what she did. I haven't even seen it
She's
yet.
brave. Knowing Skip.
Just, wow.
You know,
Wow.
me going in front of those people and shooting and you know, that would not, you know, everybody knows that I have no problem expressing myself in front of
You're an idiot, and you're an idiot, and you're an idiot. That's
you
what
can
I
go fuck yourself, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're okay, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I got no problem doing that. So, you know, if I were invited, none of you would be surprised if I got up there and spoke.
No.
And I mean, it maybe would surprise you if I froze, but you know,
yeah.
But for Skip to get on a plane and fly to
5,000
DC,
miles or whatever it is.
It's not 5,000. But anyway, fly to DC and be surrounded by all these people that she idolizes. I'll use the word idolize. I mean, I've seen her, you know, people that she looks up to.
Yep.
She looks up to, and not freeze and do a good job.
Yep.
That is speaking volumes about Skip. You know, I know for a fact Skip is very nervous about talking in front of people. So yeah, we love her, even though we do like to take pictures of her falling asleep on the toilet and, you know, having fun. But yes, we do love her, and we thank her for her wonderful words. We haven't even been able to see them, but I guarantee you they were wonderful. And when we do get a clean video, we will probably bring some of that to you. And maybe even next week, after she's relaxed a little bit, if she doesn't have to work at the group home, we might have her on if she's available.
She could be a substitute Kevin. I won't.
That's true. I might have to, you know, wrangle up somebody. Or, you know, if Skip's not available, maybe I'll just take a nap. I fell asleep, Kevin. I'm turning into an old man. I came home from work. I set up the show thing. I sat here in the chair, and I woke up like 30 minutes before, before I normally would come in here.
Yeah.
Then I had to go and scarf down some food and have to come back here. And I was like, fuck.
And you still can't stand yourself any more than I do when I take a nap.
I hate myself, dude. But I also love myself too.
Janice said about 9:20. She said, "Are you gonna get back up from your nap?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta deal with him. I don't know."
I know I hate that guy, but I do enjoy fighting with him. So I guess
that's right. Yeah.
I'm actually amazed that you did not bot once during the share screen. Surprised.
Yep, I know. Keep your expectations low as normal. Don't.
Well, I do have low expectations anytime you're involved, but you know.
That's right. I'd like to surprise you once in a while.
But oh well. So we ran through all the content, Kevin. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes. We should tell everybody how much we love them and go to sleep.
They know I love them. They don't.
No, you don't, Kevin.
It's you. I
I
don't
have
like.
proof. I have proof. Let me find it.
Hey, you didn't show them the
That's where I'm going right now. I'm going to pull it up right this minute.
I think it should be copywritten, but
Well,
you're
see,
right.
This is Kevin says, I don't like you either.
Don't be gaslighting people on the show.
And candy corn. This is Kevin does kind of look like candy corn, actually.
Well, the hair's backwards. The orange.
Yeah, but I think actually sometimes the tip is actually orange.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't eat it.
Yeah. But yeah, Kevin says I don't even like you.
No.
Or I don't like you. I'm gonna go over here real quick and see candy corn.
All I know is
the white is on top, orange, or, dark orange, and then corn colored.
You're going to cue that Roadrunner. If Dr. King saw the previous goofball at that conference with Mark and Clive and the others, and he probably said, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." That's right. That's right. So, yeah.
You know what I say about Dr. King?
That's because it's censored. We're trying to have a clean family show.
I think I said fuck a lot tonight. I don't know if I can actually.
Fornication under consent of the king. Is that what you're referring to?
I don't think I can actually say that we're a family show, because I did say fuck a lot. Remember, I just said fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I like you, fuck you, fuck you. I just did that.
Hey, just for the record, Logan is practicing his freedom of speech by starting to cuss after his father.
Aha!
And it's really difficult not to laugh.
He needs to hang out with me. I'll teach him some cuss words.
He said bullshit to me yesterday.
I'll teach
him. And I looked
to
at him.
say, fuck you, pothead.
Where did you hear that from?
I'm going to just say, fuck you, pothead.
He's almost 4. Oh yeah.
I'm going to teach him how to be like Archie Bunker.
Now I don't know about the 21st. I'm not here the 7th, and I'm not positive of what day the birthday celebration.
Now there is one Friday in October that I will not be here because I have to be out of town for the day.
What's that?
And my nephew, who is in the Air Force, is actually back in San Antonio for advanced training.
Yeah.
He told me today he is learning a lot about hypoxia, and sent me a photograph of him with a helmet and a face mask on. I don't know if they're doing halo jumps, or I have no idea what they're doing. That he would be talking hypoxia, but as somebody that has done one of those in the past, those are awesome.
What day is yours that we're not here?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
But I just said my nephew is here in San Antonio, so I might just sneak out and go hang out with my nephew for the weekend. You never know.
There you go.
Be that 50-year-old guy that wants to hang out with the 20-year-old guys and take them drinking. I don't think I'll do that, but that sends creepy vibes. But I might take him out to dinner or something. There's some really nice. Last time he was here, I took him to the Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah.
And he got a meat coma. It was kind of funny.
Oh.
There was a kid in his graduating basic training class from California, and his parents couldn't come. So we sort of adopted him for the graduation.
Yeah.
And he went with us to the Brazilian meat house, the Brazilian steakhouse. And I think I've already told the story. I'll tell it again real quick. So they come out, you have a little card that's green on one side and red on the other.
Yeah.
They bring out the sides, the mashed potatoes and the vegetables and everything. They put them in the center of the table, and then you have a card. And when you want meat, you flip it over to green, and they come running out of the kitchen with meat on skewers, because they cook them over coals on skewers.
And that's what
they have them set up so that the temperature is different under different sections of the meat. So they have overdone, slightly less overdone, and then rare. Perfect.
Right.
So he comes out with a piece of ribeye, and he says, "How do you?" And I said, "I want it rare." So he, and I told him, I said, "The next time you come out with a piece of ribeye like that," I said, "you throw it on the stick and put it over the fire for 3 minutes on each side, and then you bring it back out here."
Just a little blood dripping, right? Still moving, but not.
So about 10 minutes later, he comes running out with this skewer of meat. Now, it's me, my aunt, her husband, his parents, the grandparents, and then my nephew and this kid. So there's we have a whole table of people, and the guy comes running straight to me with this skewer of meat and says, "I did exactly what you said." And by that time, I had forgotten what I had said. So my nephew said, "That's the 6-minute steak." And I said, "Oh, right here. Put it right here." So they start slicing, and my nephew said, "Oh, I want some of that too." And then and now people at adjoining tables had heard the whole thing happen. And I look up and I have this what would be considered blue steak on my plate, and they're looking in horror. Now, the kid from California that's with us from my nephew's graduation class, he says, "Do not take any pictures of this." And I said, "Well," my nephew said, "Why?" He said, "Because if you put it on your Facebook and you tag me, my parents are going to know that I ate this."
Oh, so there you go. Yeah.
And I was like, "What is meat bad?" He said, "Meat like this is bad." And I'm like, "Are they vegetarians?" California?
Oh.
You mean to tell me I can't get a good rare steak in California, Kevin?
No.
But it was glorious. I'm used to having meat coma and overabundance, periodically, because I do live in Texas and I have access to some of the best meat in the world.
Yep.
But these kids that had been eating basic training, like cafeteria food for the entire length of basic training. So then I take them to this steakhouse and they overindulge in beef.
Of course they did.
And these are like my nephew was training for SEER school, which is a very prestigious elite military group. They're the Search, Evade, Rescue group.
Okay. So
they parachute in behind enemy lines to rescue downed pilots and stuff. That's what he was. So these kids are in perfect physical condition. Like these guys, my nephew can run 15 miles a day, no problem. He's the opposite of me. I don't know that we're actually related, but anyway, they were waddling out and they looked like they were pregnant. Now, obviously, they're much younger and can process that away really good. Yeah. But it was, it was awesome. But anyway, I might take him back there since he's here. You never know. But anyway, so we talked about gaslighting the people, how the FDA has participated in the brainwashing of the masses and refuses to correct that.
No, they don't.
And have no plan. They acknowledge that it exists, but have no plans to correct it.
There's a record. That's it.
Even though it is their duty. They're the FDA. Their job is to promote health and stuff, and stuff.
Allegedly.
And we have video evidence of past FDA guys saying it would help, the general public if everybody quit smoking and use these instead. Yep. We have video of another FDA employee chick saying they have spent no money or effort or time in any other sorts of campaigns other than prevention based. And we have the new head of the FDA saying, "Oh yeah, e-cigarettes are safer than cigarettes." And we're not going to tell anybody.
No.
I
And if the kid calls, we'll tell them on an individual.
Oh yeah, no. We will tell them on social media in like a private chat or on an email, but we are not ever going to tell the truth to the masses.
So if we're at final thoughts, I'm going to go to Bruni's comment. Skip certainly has more strength.
The one about it's got to be quality meat for me to eat very rare meat, or something else.
What?
Well, I'm just looking at the last Bruni Saint comment. And
no, I'm going up above.
Oh.
Skip has more strength than she believes she has.
Yes, that one.
Thanks, Tom. Because spot on. You got to love you guys for the great show you create at the least. And Skip is amazing. You guys keep being you. Wonderful Mallory.
I'm not going to change.
All our gal advocates are awesome. And believe me, knock the horns off. If it's bleeding and moving.
Now, I don't know that some women don't appreciate the use of the word gals, Tom, but I get what you're saying.
Skip likes broad. So
broad.
Moody old broad. Cranky, moody old broad. So you guys motivate me. I'll speak for Patrick, also him, although I don't like him. And I hope we motivate you to do that. And when things happen in your life, like we discussed earlier, you kind of have to back off. Things have to be taken into consideration for your lives first. But there's a whole bunch of awesomeness in this room every week, and there's a whole bunch of awesomeness on Twitter. And I want that to continue, even though we think we're winning, we ain't. When we do.
Right? Oh, we're gonna crush these bitches, but it might take a while. For sure.
And I want to hear
no problem.
Speech.
I do want to hear speech, but like I said, I did get a copy of it, Kevin, and it was
yeah.
And I thank you, Richard Pruin, for providing the link, but it was not quality enough that we could use it. So we love you. I want you guys to extra enjoy this weekend. Be prepared to kick ass on Monday. Remember that all of this shit is temporary because we are going to win, and we're going to, drive our enemies before us. We're going to hear the lamentations of their women's and all that stuff. We're going to kill and maim our enemies. But love you, and we're going to see you in 7 days. I don't have a long weekend. I wish I had a long weekend, but let's see. Let's end with some Reagan and some other stuff. So love you and have a good one.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
We are one nation under God, and knowing that inspires us. It inspires us to look within and find that fundamental respect and care that we should have for one another.
Bring your hands up for me. Okay, good.
Check the armpits. Take your time. Look carefully.
Okay, bring them down. Okay, let's spread your legs a little bit wider. Okay. Okay, lift your penis for me, please. Okay. Testicles.
If he's uncircumcised, ask him to pull back the foreskin.
Let's turn around.
Look at the neck, back, spinal area, and buttocks.
Okay, bend forward for me, please. And spread your buttocks.
Look for anything inserted. Observe any constricting of the rectal muscles, which may indicate the inmate is straining to retain something. You may see a thin string, indicating something is there. If you have any suspicion, ask the inmate to squat and cough deeply, which could dislodge it. If you're still suspicious, call for a medical search. You're not authorized to make any intrusion into the inmate's body orifices.
Who's going to protect our children?
DA Edward Burke cited Wisconsin law in a report stating what happened in Suring does not meet the definition of a strip search.
Having children stripped down to their bra and underwear is not okay in Wisconsin. or any other state. My youngest, he said the other day walking into school, he was shaking.
Green Bay-based school law practitioner Tony Stefik says school officials are not required to notify parents of a search.
Some people would say, well, you're in the office. You need to call me before you question my child. That right doesn't exist.
We are not subjects or slaves of those who govern. And by God's grace, we are free. And we will fight to remain free.